Okay, you've been shot, but now you got to start trying to live life. And I'll never forget, a good friend of mine, Keith, was talking to another gal who was considering telling her husband she didn't love him anymore.
Wow.
And he said, let me just tell you and be the first to tell you, welcome to hell.
Oh my.
You better stop and think about what you're doing.
It's a lot of pain.
A lot of pain. So let's talk about this hell. This vulnerable time.
It is absolutely a time of bleeding. I remember just bleeding. I used the word suffering before. It's just that you're just bleeding. It's like my guts are falling out. It's my emotions are falling out. I can't think straight. I can't put my emotions in check.
But thinking straight, it's also a time of, like with my cousin Ginny, because she came to me when she was bleeding, she had a million decisions she had to be making during the time that she's hurting the most.
And that's what makes it impossible. It's an impossible time, this in-between time. So I had to decide, okay, I have to leave. Well, where am I going to leave? Where am I going to move to? What's my relationship with my son's going to be? Can I still work during this time? What about finances? Who's going to, do I still support her? Do I, I'm mad at her now because I'm the dumpee and there's the dumper and there's some differences there. But
But in your book, the West and Quinn had that interesting little study where they looked at the fact that all these people have, you got issues, right? Everybody's got issues to go through this stuff, but you have the four quadrants, you got the emotional, you got the mental, you got the spiritual, you got the physical, and your emotional energy is spread around those in regular life. But when you go through this divorce or separation or these bad news,
huge. The emotion.
85% of the energy is spent on emotion, and you can't make any other decisions because you got nothing left.
We're all emotion. I was all
stuck on emotion.
All emotion. I couldn't think straight. I gathered around me. The one thing I did do, and I do recommend this for everybody. I gathered around me a group of guys, and I just said, man, guys, I can't even hardly put food to my mouth. So will you please help me make good choices so I don't drive a wedge between me and my former wife. Because remember, it's not over. It's only, it looks like it's over, it feels like it's over, but this in-between time, there's still possibilities.
Yeah, because you don't know for sure which
way it's going to go. You don't know how
it's
going to end up, and so there's rash decisions will only create more trauma.
But in that in-between time, how incredible that you gathered men around you. I watch women in that in-between time, they're so lonely and vulnerable that the first thing they're doing is grabbing another man.
I tell you what, I'm going to be critical of that, and I'm going to also tell you, I'm going to empathize with it. When I was an oozing, bleeding, emotional mess, I was vulnerable.
Well, of course.
And I'll tell you what, for that next year, I made some mistakes. I made some decisions. I look back and I go, man, life, could I have saved it? My former marriage ended. But I look back and I'll tell you what, and others do this too, I did a ton of second guessing. Should I have done that? Was that the right decision? And you're vulnerable, so you're so vulnerable. Anybody who will listen to me and will come alongside, man, you'll listen to me? You're my best friend.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? I've watched it so many times, and in this case here, it happened to be some women, but they actually, in the crisis, this lady went to other divorcees for input. People are already at the end. She's already shut it down in her mind. And now, to be honest, they're back together 3 years later, and the husband and wife are making it.
Wow.
But it's interesting, the advocates at the time were not the most quality people in her world. She went to people who have all been through it. They'll understand. Well, maybe find, like you did, some quality people to come around you that are going to give you good advice.
Well, and I've heard you say, go to the strongest marriage in your world and ask them the questions.
That is so important, because people will take up your offense. At the time when I am vulnerable, I'm feeling rejected, I want to hold up a placard saying, I am innocent and she did all the wrong. And if anybody would come alongside of me and join me in that.
They'll hold the placard and say, David,
David, you poor boy, she is bad. No, get out of, look, there's a lot of fish in the sea. So you're absolutely right. There are people that will come alongside of you and they will give you bad counsel. So you better know who are the strong people to turn to, who will help you to make good decisions so that if there's a chance to save it. And I tell couples more and more now, even though mine didn't make it, there's a chance. I tell people, don't give up. Not yet. Not yet. There's a lot of game left to play.
Okay, some of you right now, you just heard about it. You're in the limbo state. You're thinking about calling a lawyer, and yet you hear this man say,
don't
give up. And so we just want to say, you have got to stay with us, because we're going to talk next segment about what you need to hear before you go any further.